Gen Z seems to be the generation kicking corporate America to the curb. They're done with the BS. They say you're done scamming us out of our time freedom. You're done scamming us out of our economic freedom. We want families. We want to be homeowners. So we're going to find other ways to do it. So as we get into this video, make sure you hit the like. Make sure you sub to the boy. But first,
Hype me up. Hype me up. Hype me
All
up.
right, let's get into it.
On me.
They lied to us. They lied to us. They sold us
Right.
on a future that does not exist in reality. And I think our generation is very, very pissed off. You grew up being told that, if you work hard, if you follow the rules, if you get an education, success is just naturally going to follow and that it's inevitable. Now, don't get me wrong. I still believe that if you work hard, you will see success. However,
Yeah.
hard work has to
Yeah.
be partnered with smart work. I do truly believe if you work hard, you will reap the benefits, but it can't be dumb hard work because, there's that one saying, if
If you watch Naruto, it's like a Kekkei Genkai. You know what I'm saying? You got two elements working together. It's like an equation, a math equation. This plus this or this times this equals this. That's a formula for output for success. Hard work plus smart work is how you really make it, man. That's how you do it.
hard work made you rich and the donkey would run the farm or whatever, I'm kind of paraphrasing that. But I think if you sort of just did what you were told, oh, in school, make sure to try. You can have a little bit of fun, but still try at the end of the day. Get a good internship, land a good job, climb your way up the corporate ladder. And yet, it seems like everyone that's doing that is not only barely able to get by, but also they're very unsatisfied in their life, not fulfilled. It seems like no one's happy. It seems like boomers have retired, and the generation below the boomers, our parents, are not enjoying their jobs, but they're like, hey, I only got to put up with this for another 10, 15 years. And hopefully AI just comes in and does all this stuff. But you know, this is not being addressed.
It just let you know, man, people ain't enjoying their life out there. And the real question is this: if AI comes to take over, then like why are you hoping that's the case? If people are thinking that, like if you're somebody who's thinking that, why do you hope that's the case? Because that just puts you out of a job. They're not going to subsidize or supplement your income when they find a more efficient way to get the job done. That's not how that works. So you shouldn't be thinking like that. But at the same time, not enjoying your job, I understand why people just be like, F it, man, forget it. I don't care. It's so mundane. It's so redundant how people are feeling when it comes to this economy, man. And the next generation, they're waking up. Now, they understand the problem, but the problem Gen Z is having is that they don't really see a solution. They don't really have solutions. Most of them don't because not everybody's super entrepreneurial. So that's a shame because you really should be. That's how you keep the control amongst the people versus the government because we can rely on each other and keep the government in check versus everybody relying on the government. But being that most people aren't raised to be entrepreneurs, what's the next step? What ends up happening, man? I think it really becomes like turned into like some form of anarchy, even though I don't want to speak that upon this country or anybody specifically. But that's what I think happens.
And every politician that gets into office is just lying through their mouth.
Right, yeah,
And that's
right.
the innate nature of a politician. I think as Plato
And
has
then
some
and
type
then
quote
they're
where he
investing on
says,
top of
those who
that.
seek to have power are not fit to hold it. And those who don't seek to have power are fit to hold it. So it's like that's just the paradox. The very fact that someone is a politician and running for office means they're not a good option for us. The guy down the street that runs a pizza shop is probably our best option. But yeah, it's cooked. I mean, housing market cooked. I don't need to tell you that. The economy, the job market is just
Do you
ridiculous.
think these people get like so far away from reality of the average person that they just I think they just don't consider certain things or they're so far above us in social status, economic status that they don't really understand but care about what happens. You're a slave to these people. That's really how they believe. That's really what they think. You work for me. Your existence is for my benefit. That's it.
It takes the average applicant 1,000 to 1,200 applications to land a job.
Oh my
About 50,
goodness.
60 years ago, it was probably 3 to 5, you know? And the problem is with it getting so much worse, you would assume that people would be like,
3 to 5 to 800, 5 to 800. You know how crazy that is?
hey, we should probably address this and fix this. But they don't care. They don't give a crap because they're not Gen Z. They're not the ones that are going to have to face the problem. And this is what's going to happen, right? Is we're going to be the ones that fix the problem, and then we're also going to be the ones that fix the problem for future generations. So even future generations probably, won't have to do the hard work and bite the bullet of figuring it out, and that's what sucks. But part of me is like, hey, I'm up for the challenge, but it just sucks because this is not a one man game. If I could bet on myself, I'd be like, yeah, but betting on a whole generation of people that are doing this all the time, looking down at their phone all day, it's kind of tough, man. It's kind of tough.
Yeah, they're
I think the
distracted.
frustration with the
Let me tell you something. Most people know what's going on, but don't care enough to do anything about it. They want to send other people to fight their battles. They want other people to solve their problems because we live in the weakest, I believe, one of the weakest generations in America where people are addicted to their phones. You can make so much money on the phones. There's so much distraction and attention to a cellular device that you don't actually go out and live the real world sometimes. It's getting to that point. If not the weakest generation, the next generation is going to be a lot weaker. They're going to be so reliant on AI. They don't know how to write papers. They don't know how to think for themselves. They don't know how to drive anywhere without technology. It's going to be insane.
world that we live in is the lack of mobility. You can't seem to switch up the type of life that you live easily, which you should be able to do. Not saying that wherever you switch your life up to is automatically going to be peak. It's just you should be able to relocate and start something new. Where nowadays it's like if you commit, 5, 10 years to something, you're like, oh, I'm in this forever because it would suck to completely restart somewhere else and to get a new house and new responsibilities. It's just too much of a burden on all fronts, psychologically, physically, and financially. It's just a little bit too much to handle for most people. And I think that's what sucks. But once again, I mean, I still do truly believe that there is hope, and I think it's possible. I have friends that have done very well for themselves, and I'm kind of using the term friends there loosely, but like acquaintances that I would hope to be friends with, in the future, whatever. But I have seen it work, but it's like you just need to play the game so smart, bro. You need to play the game so smart. You need to analyze every step and optimize, optimize, optimize. But that's what sucks, bro, because that's like that takes you away from being human. Why does everything feel like in some way, shape, or form you are, how shall I say it? You are essentially putting on this circus act of like, oh, I need to.
They're siphoning who you really are and forcing you to be somebody you're not to please them. You're putting on a show. You're a great actor, my friend. You should be in Hollywood because this isn't really who you are, but this is who you're gonna be while you're here, boy. You hear me, boy? You hear me, you little lady? You gonna do what we tell you to do for that money, cause you're too dumb to go make your own. Sheesh.
Perform to the best of my ability. Otherwise, if I fall, it's like I'm falling off a tightrope and then I'm crashing where I could get injured. Like that's how it feels nowadays. Like if you take a wrong step, the punishment or the consequence of taking that wrong step is just so catastrophic. Most people are living paycheck to paycheck. What do you think one car
Paycheck to
crash does to them?
paycheck.
It puts them in debt, and then that debt just festers over the years and becomes, it takes 10, 15 years to pay that off. Dude, you only live 60 years. You only live 70 years if you're lucky.
Got him.
So it's like,
Got him in the
it's just
cycle.
kind of ridiculous, bro. And most people that I know that do go to college are in some type of debt. And this is debt that they probably won't pay off for, minimum 10 years for most people. But yeah, I think Gen Z is waking up. We're a little bit pissed off. If you compare, uh, like previous generations, I think they love to compare their experiences to Gen Z's without acknowledging how much the economic landscape has changed. So they'll be like,
Dude, stop. That right there is the most irritating thing. Man, I remember my mom used to serve tables and was able to afford a house. To afford to rent a house. Nowadays, you can't afford to rent an apartment. They want you to make 3 times the rent, bro. If I made 3 times the rent, I wouldn't be living here. I would, if I made, trust me, if I could make 3 extra rent, I would choose to live somewhere else. I promise you. Man, they're getting approved for cars. Like the economic, man, the dollar has weakened so much, and the cost of living has gone up. We're living in an inverse ratio of economic success, man. I can't even think of the words. What $1 used to be, man, I was looking at a Burger King or a McDonald's menu in the 50s. Dude, the highest thing on that menu was like 10 cents. Remember the McDonald's dollar menu? What you think happened to it? Inflation. It's crazy, man. Come on, bro. We can't even afford Happy Meals out here, bro. What's going on?
Oh, everything's more comfortable for you. You know, you have phones. You can easily talk to a friend across the country. You can go places with cars very easily and all this stuff like that. And it's like, they in a weird way they had everything that we have now, just to a little bit of a lesser extent, but that was the optimal form because like back in the day, bro, you could just get on your bike anywhere you wanted to. No one thought that was crazy. Nowadays they're like, oh, you never know. What kind of people live in your neighborhood, so we're not okay with that. You can't do that. Oh, now they're less enforce a curfew. There was more freedom in the older generations, where nowadays it seems like everything's more locked down. Everything is so
Mm.
it's like everything you're doing has the what.
I don't know, man. I'm telling you guys, before COVID, the stores used to be open 24 hours. I used to be able to wake up at 3 a.m., not have no food in my fridge, and go to Walmart or go to a grocery store and be able to go buy something. Can't do it no more. Can't do it no more. Can't be walking outside randomly without people being feeling suspicious about you. You gotta lock your doors, which you should always have had to. But like even in neighborhoods, you gotta lock your doors because people be coming cruising, trying to find them a lick. Man, it's locked down, bro. You can't do nothing. You can't say what you want on the internet. Man, they locking everything. They're censoring everything. They're putting martial law slowly but surely, man. That's what I really believe is happening, man.
What is it called? The gutters.
You go, bro. There's this thing where if you like making you have so much amount of money in your bank account, like, and you try to withdraw like $5,000 to $10,000, they're gonna hound you and question you. It never used to be like that. When I made my first $10,000 at 18 years old, to go withdraw it wasn't as much hassle as it is today. They finna question you. They finna say, "Oh, I don't feel comfortable with that." Oh, well, you need to prove to what you gonna use it for. Man, ain't this my money? What's going on with the banks now? What's up with all of this questioning, bro? It's control. We already know what it is, but the ones who believe in Christ, man, we are spiritually free. Okay, we're not gonna always be libertarian, have libertarian freedom or financial freedom, but if you believe in Jesus, man, you're gonna be spiritually free, and that's what matters the most because there's gonna come a point in time we ain't gotta deal with all of this, man.
Like the little bumper things when you play. Why am I forgetting bowling? When you go bowling, it's like everything in life has the bumpers up. It's like you're basically being led down this path that you're supposed to take. But then the thing that's so stupid about it is even that path is like you're like working paycheck to paycheck, and
Right.
you're one bad day away from just being screwed for 10 years. They just straight up lie to us.
College.
College is seen as this sort of like holy sanctificate. Like it is the most glorified BS ever. College.
Listen. On that note, man, let me tell you something about college, bro. If you're gonna go to school, you're gonna be paying 5,000 a semester. That's 5,000 every 6 months, $10,000 a year, and you got to do 4 years. That's 40 rats. 40 rats. This is a perfect time to tell you guys, man. Come to the One House community, right? You should be coming to the One House community where you can learn from people who said, man, bump the regular system. We're going to pave our own way to start making some money. Link is on the website down below. Go to ericchamesofficial.com, go to One House, and you can start with less than $2,000 a month, start learning digital real estate, AI, trading, content creation, TikTok shop, all of that. You can literally have a digital form of school. Take as many as you want, learn from as many people as you want, and you can earn while you learn, man. Make sure you go ahead and check that out. I want to put that right here for you guys to really be able to see what's going on.
Like in high school, everything in my high school at least was like engineered to help kids that were going to go to college. And it's like, oh, from day one of high school, we're trying to help you to get to college, but there wasn't that same level of commitment to people that were going to go in the trades or maybe start their own business. Like they just didn't care. The only thing that was promoted and that was almost like brainwashed, indoctrinated, conditioned into us, however you want to say it, was college, 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 college. Dude, I went to
Right.
college and my professors were
Right.
honestly, it was not nearly the experience that everyone talked about. Granted, I did do 2 years
Bruh.
online, so I didn't get the full
Man,
thing.
I remember taking an English class, and my professor said, man, being a professor sucks sometimes. Cause he's not making enough. He's like, bro, I don't make enough money to give a crap. That's literally what he told me. This is a professor at a college. He's like, man, I just don't make enough money to care, bro. Like,
Experience online, but it's like, bro, we're exhausted of the fact that we keep having to answer to these older people and they don't even care about us. Like, can the boomers just kick the bucket already? Like, we're tired of it. You know, it's funny. Boomers, they love the joke. Every boomer has the same joke, and it's about how much they hate their spouse every single time. Especially with the guys who are like, "Oh, I hate my wife. Oh, it sucks that I got to go home to my wife." It's like, dude,
Sad.
what? Like, what kind of miserable piece of crap you got to be to even joke about that? I would never joke about that. And I'm being
Right.
serious. Like, I like to
For
joke about
real.
anything, but
For real.
these people, they're like, "Oh, gotta go home to my wife.
Yeah.
Is there any way we
Oh
can bring
man,
her?"
yeah, bro. Man, the wife gonna get me if I don't. Da, da, da. Or, bro, I get that one. I see that one happen a lot, bro. Like they're making sly jokes about the person that they chose to be with, which means that they settled. That's bad. That's bad.
Crash on the way back because I don't want to go back to her. It's like, you're what? And I think that just sort of shows you their entitlement. They don't understand what's going on, and then they look at us because we're younger and be like, "You guys aren't working as hard." And it's like, yeah, so the minimum wage would have to be around 70.
We're not working as hard. Before he gets into talking about the minimum wage, we have to work about 3 to 4 times as hard for the same exact thing you got, and that's being generous. Generous because of purchasing power. Just because we make the same dollar amount doesn't mean we have the same purchasing power, bro. It's not the same. It's not. You gotta understand that. They don't seem to understand that because their houses are paid off. But notice the ones who don't have houses paid off. There are a lot of old people who didn't who failed in that economy. You think they're gonna survive in this one? Older? Not happening. Relying on daughters and nieces and nephews to come live with them and stay with them before they become homeless. Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro.
To $75 to give me the purchasing power that you had to buy a house. So let's not even pretend that we are on the same wavelength or level at
Not
all,
even
Shane.
close.
Okay. But yeah, and then on top of all this, social media just exposes um all of us to people that have extreme wealth on the daily, you know, and it sort of makes the gap between expectations and reality feel harder to achieve. It's very difficult.
And that's going to conclude today's video, guys. Make sure y'all leave me a comment down below. It's only right to leave a like, and every sub is a dub. And don't forget to
Hype me up. Hype me up. Hype me up.